Well, hello there everyone. How are you doing? It's a good afternoon from this side. So last week I shared NASDAQ on the YouTube channel and I said that we will be expecting something awesome to happen this week. And just as we expected, we actually seeing it happening this week. Looking forward to see NASDAQ going bullish because I still have a bullish directional bias. So, like I explained last week on the video, I said that we've been maintaining a bullish trend, and my major high is this high and this low, but we'll not be focusing on that because that is a long part that is something that happened a long time ago. It's gonna take a while for the market to actually get there. So we will be moving to another asset. We'll be moving from this to forex.com, and here we have it. So still having that bullish directional bias on Nasdaq, I will be looking for a bullish trend. All right, and a one-sided market of the bullish trend. Is that correct? All right. By the way, how do you see my avatar? I hope he looks interesting, right? So that's by the way, just trying out new way of presentation for the YouTube channel. So we triggered into our demand zone or the other block. Remember, I said all of these choppy market, they are all liquidity. The origin of a structural break is here, and all of this is not a structure, right? Because this is where we have that of a break of structure, and then the next thing we're paying attention is to look for the origin of that break of structure, which is a sell candle. Okay, so last 2 weeks, that is the second week of the month, March, the second quarter trades into the demand zone. And those that has enrolled to the Telegram channel where I explained about one another topic concerning the golden due range based on the quarters that we have in trading. And most of our lives, everything about finances is in trading because even in stock market or as a company, you have 4 quarters. All right. So each of this quarter, you have to present your earnings or revenue. You have to do your balance sheet. So it works and it means that you have to do that every 3 months. All right, so we have 4 quarters in a year. We have 4 months divided by 4. That would be 3 months, right? So the same goes with your monthly and your weekly candles or time frames, where we have 4 weeks in a month. We have 4 major trading days in a week. Not paying attention to Friday, right? So we are looking forward to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So when it comes to monthly candle, we are looking for which week is going to be the low of that month, which week is going to be the high of that month. That is what we always get to pay attention to. And all of that is when you understand all of the principles, the guidelines, and strategy of the algorithm price delivery. So the second week trades into that demand zone. We have eyes on. The third week opened, and remember I said on the YouTube channel that we should trade out of this inefficiency because price is trying to balance that. So once we trade out of that and we have a structural shift, then that will be when I'll be anticipating that strong bullish printing. And we'll be expecting it to start printing higher highs and higher lows. And I also mentioned that as this sell is dropping, you will actually see it's been slowing down and been printing a choppy trend till it trades into that demand zone, trades into an area of favorable gap, plays around there in order to balance that inefficiency, and then finally finds his way out. That is what we see on the 4 hour time frame. But still watching to see what is gonna happen. I need to have a very strong confidence to get into this market and pay attention also to um, the stock market. So while I'm looking at NASDAQ, I'm patiently getting ready to see when to dive into the stock market to start gathering shares. All right, so still maintaining that bullish trend, not yet shifting bearish. So this is just a brief video, brief breakdown. We'll just be taking them one by one. We also have the US 500. I explained this one together. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see all of that explanation there, right? So let me move over to capital.com. That is where we'll be using it. All right, so this thing similar also to the NASDAQ, we have that bullish demand zone right here, or the bullish order block. In this case, the price sold downwards to balance inefficiency and finally breaks higher. Now we ranged for a while throughout last year and we finally dropped. DCA has a retracement down into that demand zone. And the interesting part is that I see that it trades down into the 50% of the order block. All right. So we are now seeing that move happening on the US 500, the stock index, and see that massive move. So if you are also looking at this price derivative, you can actually see that slow movement, a drop in volatility right there, trades into the demand zone, taking this liquidity from the sell side, fill up the sell side inefficiency or the favorable gap, and we saw that massive gap printed right there. We saw the jump and we start printing higher. So looking at this, I'm anticipating this to be price accumulating at that area inside our demand zone to gather these orders and then deliver price higher. Because looking at this, are you seeing any bearish trend? Are you seeing any structural shift? Because looking at this is not a trending market, but a ranging market right here. So since we have not seen that higher time frame, lower lows and lower high, I'm not convinced that we are going bearish. So I don't need to panic whatever based on whatever is happening on the stock market or what is happening right here. Except I am trading, right? But I don't trade US 500 and the NASDAQ. Okay, so I don't trade futures. So it's also volatile. So if I was trading, I can participate in these sales based on watching out for when the wick opens and applying the strategy that we've been using to deliver the price downwards into this demand zone. But most of the time, it could be frustrating because price sometimes tends to play around while trying to go to that major place where it needs to go to. So nice one for the NASDAQ and the US 500. Today being Monday, still not confident and patiently waiting for that price delivery. And you've seen that everywhere has turned green. Most of the assets I'm looking at, Tesla moved 7%, buying from our area of demand. Remember, I labeled this right here has our point of interest to purchase Tesla because that is the demand zone that we have. So price trades into it, and I'm just watching to see what's going to happen. I cannot be on the lower time frame to say I'm confirming because of the gaps that is all around lower time frame. So I could possibly just pause on the daily time frame or just the weekly time frame and using the NASDAQ and the US 500 to confirm the price movement. Still not bearish on this Tesla because this is my change of character. And we move boom to this high. So now coming to printing a structure, this is my high. A trend market, this is a high. And then, excuse me. And this is a low. Let me just take this off. All right, so this is my high. This is my low. This is my high. So my anticipation is to see a low being given, not going bearish currently on the NASDAQ. And if you look closely on this 3 month time frame, the sell candle starts from here down to this area. So that is the monthly area of demand for the Tesla. Still anticipating it to move higher, possibly. I don't know in possible how long it's gonna go. If the last high was $488, so don't want to do any unnecessary predictions, but still maintaining that bullish bias. Moved 8%. The BlackRock moved 1%. Nothing serious happened on BlackRock, but was still maintaining that bullish move. I was expecting it to come to this low, but the market can do whatever it wants to do. Now you should also take note that it is not every stock market goes alongside with the NASDAQ and US 500, because most companies are not actually doing well. They are not actually generating enough revenue to maintain a company. So their shares will not function well. Nobody will actually have the interest to invest in that company unless the company starts doing well, the company starts having investors investing into the company. So that is it. But all of these successful companies, the Magnificent Seven, they play around, all right? So they moved high alongside the NASDAQ and the US 500, depending on which of these exchanges is the market belonging to. Like that of BlackRock is under the New York Stock Exchange, Tesla is under the NASDAQ. All right. So when trying to pick up stocks, these are the things you need to pay attention with too. But not only that, you also need to pay attention to what we call market cap. So we have the big market cap, we have the small market cap, and then we have the medium market cap. All right. So these are the things that you also need to pay attention to. How is the market cap going? So you know that the market cap is the number of shares available times the price gives you the market cap. But in this case, you don't know the number of shares available, so you just have to do substitution of the formula. You know what we taught in maths. You're looking for the number of shares available, so you have to do X times the current price equals to the market cap, because the market cap is always given to you, right? So let me see, like the market cap of this is 150 billion. All right, so this is a large market cap. Okay, so all you have to do is to divide it by the current price, and you will get the value of the available shares listed in the market. KTOS doing very well, massively, so sweet. I love this since last year. Even all of the things that had been happening on US and the NASDAQ, just a little drop from last month, but throughout this month it's been going bullish, and it belongs under the NASDAQ. All right, so guys, that is it for US 500, the NASDAQ, and in conference with the stock market. Now, I do upload all of these videos and all of the sessions that we've been having on some shares or assets, fundamental forex financial instruments that we always have eyes on. These are shared on the Telegram channel each and every week on Sundays. All right. So this is where the members get this insight. First of all, they are always the first person to know what we are looking at and take actions. Grab that opportunity before I actually drop it on YouTube. They are the ones that knows what I'm looking at first before I actually dropped it on YouTube. And the best part is that we're always having these sessions on Sundays, and I believe these sessions done on Sundays is something that is going to help these members know what they're looking for or what they're looking at when they go into the market to analyze the chart. So the link to have access to that Telegram is on this description of this video. It is a lifetime access. That is it. So if you want to enroll to learn more about being a financial analyst, looking at the assets that I have eyes on, then that is it. That is it for you guys. So I guess this is how we're gonna end. Yesterday we talked about Euro USD, and we are looking for sales to fill up the buy side inefficiency that we've had. All right, so that doesn't mean that we're going bearish. Okay, we just want to see a retracement down to fill up this inefficiency, because buying is something that we should be scared of. For the fact that what always comes into our mind is price could possibly retrace backwards to fill up this inefficiency before it finally finds its way to anywhere it wants to go to. So we are looking forward to see how this week is going to be. Shots we already taken last week. So today is Monday, not doing anything serious. So Tuesday, we can dive into the market and be anticipating to see if all of this buy side inefficiency will be filled up. So we are not here to talk about Euro, but to talk about the NASDAQ and the US500. And anticipating that the market plays out the way I want it to and how I predicted this to go. So that will be another record +1 added to the list of things that we have successfully predicted. So see you guys next time. Take care and be safe.